Hello, hello student. The today topic is file organization. File organizations means refers to the logical relationship among the various records that consist of the file, particularly with respect to the means of identification to access to any specific records. The file structure refers to the format of the label and the data blocks of any logical record. Control information refers to the way data is stored in a file. File organization is very important because it determines the method of the access, efficiency, flexibility, and the storage devices to use. There are the four methods of organizing the files on a storage media. First is sequential file organization, second is random or direct access file organization, third is serial file organization, fourth is index sequential file organization. First is sequential file organization. Sequential file organization. Sequential file organization. Sequential file organization is simply means storing and sorting in physical continuous blocks within a files on a tape or disk. Records are also sequenced within each block. Records are also maintained in a sequence. To access a record, previous record within a blocks are scanned. Thus a sequential record design is the best suited for to get next activity, reading one record after another within a search. The records are maintained in a sequence way and they also access in a one by one record. In a sequential organization, record can be added only at the end of the file. It is not possible to insert a record in the middle of the file without rewriting the file. Without rewriting the files, they are not possible to insert any record in the middle of the file. The records are added only at the end of the file. One file is end, then another files are inserted. In a database system, record may be inserted anywhere in the file. In the database system, in the sequential organization, records can be added only at the end of the file. It is not possible to insert a record in the middle of the file. In database system, record may be inserted anywhere in the file, which could be automatically resequence the record. The inserted the record. Records are stored and accessed in a particular order, sorted using a key field. Records are stored and accessed in the particular order. Next is re-retrieval requires searching sequentially through entire file records. Record to record. Re-retrieval records retrieve the access the records from where is record is recorded. Because the record in a file are sorted in a particular order, there are records are sorted in particular order from ascending to descending and descending to ascending, from A to Z or Z to N. In a proper way they are sorted. Better file searching method like binary search technique can be used to reduce the time used for searching. Binary search method is also used for the searching the file. Since the records are sorted, it is possible to know in which the half of the file of the particular record being searched is located. Hence, this method is repeatedly divided this set of record in the file into and search only the half of the record is founded. For example, file has recorded within the key field 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60 and the computer is searching for a record within the key field is 50. It start at a 40 upward in its search, ignoring the first half of the set. You suppose you are inserted the record 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60. Computer is searching for a record only key field at a 50. It start from the 40 upwards in its search, ignoring the first half of the 20 and the 30 record. And you are searching the record of the key field is 50. He is ignoring the first record. It's starting the record from the 40 upwards. In this way, the sequentially files are recorded. One by one file is recorded in the sequential is in the middle of the record middle of the record is not inserted in the sequential file organization. Advantages of the sequential file organization: the sorting make it easy to access record. These techniques can be used to reduce record search time. Bias as the half the time is taken for the searching of the record, half the time. Simple to design, easy to program, variable length and blocks records are available. Base use of the storage space is simple to design, easy to program, and variable length and the blocks records are available. Base use of the storage space. Next is disadvantages of the sequential file organization. The sorting does not remove the need to access other record as the search looks for a particular record. The sorting does not remove need to access other record as the search looks for the particular record. Sequential record cannot support modern technology that require the fast access to the stored record, that cannot be used the latest technology and the modern technology for accessing the record. The requirement that all records be same size to sometimes difficult to enforce. Records cannot be added at the middle of the file. At the end of the file, the records are inserted. At the middle of the file, it is not possible to insert any record. These are the disadvantages of the sequential file organization. Next is random or direct access file organization. In direct access file organization, records are placed randomly throughout the file. In the random, firstly see the sequential in the random file. It is also called as the direct access file organization. Records are placed randomly throughout the file. Records are placed randomly anywhere in the file. Random records need not be in a sequence. Records are not in a proper sequence, not in a proper sorting, not in a records are maintained in proper sequence because they are updated directly, rewritten back in the same location. New records are added at the end of the file or inserted in a specific location based on the software command. New records are also added at the end of the file. Record are accessed by address that specify the dislocation. Address is required for locating the record, for linking or establishing relationship. Records are accessed by addresses that specify their dislocation, and address is required for locating the record, for linking the record, for establishing relationship. Record are accessed by addresses. Their location of the address is given. Where is records is located? Suppose this record is located in a D drive. They give to the address, the specific address, and address is required for locating the record, for linking the record, or establishing relationship with their records. Addresses are two types. First is absolute address, and the second is, there are the two types, absolute address and second is relative address. First is absolute address and second is relative address. Absolute address represent the physical location of the record. Absolute address represent the physical location of the record. It is usually stated in the format of the sector, track and the record number. One problem with absolute address is that they become valid when the file that contain the record is relocated on the disk. Absolute address represent the physical location of the record. It is usually stated in the format of the sector, track, record and the number. Second is relative address, gives the record location relative to the beginning of the file. There must be fixed length record for the reference. Another way of the locating the record is by the number of the byte. It is from the beginning of the file. Relative address gives the record location relative to the beginning of the relative address gives the record location relative to the beginning of the file, and gives the record the location from the beginning of the file. There must be the fixed length of the record for the reference. Another way of the locating the record or by the number of the byte, it is from the beginning. When the file is moved, pointer need not to be updated because the relative location remains the same. Records are stored randomly but access directly. Record are stored randomly, but directly you can access. To access a file, store randomly. Record key is used to determine where record is stored on the storage media. Magnetic and optical disk allow data to be stored and accessed randomly. Magnetic and optical disk allow data to be stored and accessed randomly. Next, advantages of random file access: quick retrieval of the record. The record can be in different sizes. Record can be inserted or updated in the middle of the file. Record can be inserted also updated in the middle of the file. Better control over the record allocation. Next is disadvantages of the direct file organization: calculating address required for processing. Impossible to process variable length record. Advantages: quickly retrieval the record from the storage where the record are stored. The record can be in different sizes. Record can be inserted or updated in the middle of the file. Record can also insert or update in the middle of the file. Better control over the record of the allocation. This is the random or direct file access organization. Next is inverted or serial file organization. Inverted or serial or inverted file organization, like the index sequential storage method. The inverted file organization maintains an index. Maintaining the index also, there are the two methods differs how an index level and record storage. Index sequential method has multiple index for a given key, where the inverted list method has a single index for each key type. The index sequential method has a multiple index for a given key, when the inverted list method has a single index for each key type. In an inverted list, records are not necessarily stored in a particular sequence. They are placed in the data storage area, but index are updated on for the record key and the location. The inverted key are the best for application that request specific data on a multiple key. Records in a file are stored and accessed one after another. The records are not stored in any way on the storage medium. This is the organization mainly used for the magnetic tape for the recording. The advantages of the serial file organization: it is a simple, it is a cheap, used in application requesting specific data on multiple key. Disadvantages: wastage of space on a medium in a form of the inter record gap. It cannot support modern high speed requirement for the quick access record of the access. This is the serial or inverted file organization. Then the last is index sequential file organization method. Sequential organization, index sequential organization is it is also called as a sequential organization. Stores data in a physical continuous blocks. They differs in the use of the index. Their every records are maintaining due to the index. To locate record, give the every records to the proper indexing. To standard to understand this method, to distinguish among the three area of the disk storage. First is prime area. Second is overflow area. And third is index area. Prime area contains file record, stored key or ID numbers. All records are initially stored in the prime area. Second is the overflow area. The disk storage, in the indexing sequential method, The disk storage, they have the three prime area. First is prime area, overflow area, and the index area. In the prime area contains the file record stored by the key or ID number. All records are initially stored in the prime area. Second is the overflow area. Overflow area contains the record added to the file that cannot be placed in a logical sequence in the prime area. The overflow area contains record added to the file. They also contain the record and added to the file and cannot be placed in a logical sequence of the prime area. They cannot be contained in the logical sequence of the prime area. Next, third is the index area. Is more likely as a data dictionary. In the data dictionary, multiple records are contained. It contains keys of the record. They are arranged in the proper keys of the record. Their location on the disk and almost similar to the sequential method. In the sequential method, there are give to the proper sequence. One file is inserted. At the end of there are the second file is inserted. This is similar to the index, almost similar to the sequential method. Only that index is used in the sequential method. One by one file is inserted, but in the index area, there is give to the index is used to enable the computer to locate the individual record and their storage media. They are give to the proper indexing. They are in the index area, their files is recorded by one, and there the file is due to the proper indexing. Index is used to enable the computer to locate the individual record on the storage media. In the index sequential organization reduces the magnitude of the sequential search and provide quick access for sequential and the direct processing. For example, magnetic drum records are stored sequential on the track. However, each record is assigned an index that can be used to access it directly. In the magnetic drum, records are stored in a sequential on the track. However, each record is assigned an index that can be used to access it directly. Advantages of the indexed file: quite easy to process with proper selection of the key field. Records in a large file can be searched and accessed in very quickly. Any field of the record can be used as the key. Any field of the record can be used as the key. The key field can be numerical or the alphanumerical. In the index sequential organization reduces the magnitude of the sequential search and provide the quick access for sequential and direct processing. Record can be inserted in the middle of the file. Next is disadvantages of index file: extra data structure have to be maintained. This extra data structure maintained on the disk can use up much disk space, especially for long key values. The index file have to be reorganized from time to time. Get deleted record, the records are deleted, they have give the index file have to be reorganized from time to time and get deleted record. Improve performance and get gradually decrease with the addition of the new records. It takes longer to search the index for data access or retrieval. Unique keys are required and periodic reorganization is also unique keys also required, and the properly unique keys is required for all the records, and periodic reorganization is required. The records properly organized also, reorganized also. There are the 4 types of the file organization. First is sequential file organization. Second is random or direct file organization. There are the 2 types in the direct file, absolute and the relative. And the second, third is serial or inverted file organization. Fourth is index sequential. There are the 3 area in the index area. The first is prime area, second is overflow area, and the index area. This is the file organization. Today close your session. Thank you.